all of you. We got a great topic coming up today. We just trying to get all our social medias loaded. So welcome Periscope, welcome Instagram. Hey Facebook.
If you guys have any questions, make sure that you place it down below. We will be answering them live here right now, right here, right now. That's right. Hello, thank you for all the love and the hearts. Yes, J Money, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
That's right, Jay. We got you here. Don't be scared. I get mine and you won't get yours.
Wait, what? That's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes?
No. Yeah. No, that's not
how it goes?
Nope.
It's supposed to be the opposite, right?
Right.
You get yours? Oh, that's how it goes. Okay.
Guys, it's so crazy. So today, we're going to be talking about how to get scouted, whether it's going to be to an agency or a management team, understanding the different things that you have to do and preparing yourself, how to move forward, especially in times like this. There is still a lot of agencies open, ready to shoot. Some people are shooting commercials right now, but because of limited stuff, everything is not completely open yet. So we're just we're still waiting for everybody who they weren't here yesterday for my announcement. We will be resuming our shoots in August. So please get yourself ready. So when August starts, the shoots will be starting. There is a current casting call looking for hair models. We need straight hair models to get extensions. The shoot will be here in New York City. So if you are flying from an outer state, please understand that we will not be providing stay or travel. So we do prefer talent who is in New York City, but if you're from another state, by all means.
Yes, join us.
Right. So I think somebody has a question already.
How do you cast both models and actors? That's from Salir91 on Instagram.
Okay, so normally when I do the castings, I usually do like an open call and I'll have models and actors participate. For the actors, I will ask them to send us a reel. If they do not have a reel, we will send them a pre-setted script, which we would need for them to act out, unless I have a current movie that's already requesting to look for an actor. Then I would just send them the sides and be like, and just actually work the sides out with them before we have a sit-down meeting. I do work with other companies like Action Hero, who helps actors get their reels together or get their self-taped sides, so we can submit them to film directors. So, we do take the time out to work with actors and models. We haven't crossed over to that road of animals yet, but girl,
you never know.
If you got that dog, got it together, we're here for it.
I got an interesting story about actors. Some of the first few times we worked with actors, we've done like some small skits, some YouTube originals, and there were some people who were really new at acting. And they came through the door. They said, we really want to try it, but, we don't know. We're here for the modeling portion. And we were talking to a few people, you remember, and we just started giving, hey, I think you're good for this role. Practiced with them outside for a little bit. That's what good managers do anyway. Just a quick pointer if you need a good manager.
Right.
So we practiced for a little while outside, and they did so well. When we did that YouTube original with Raphael, the director, and it was so interesting because people that didn't even think they had this talent just naturally, hey, put two people that didn't even know each other until that moment, and they hit it over the head. Most of the people that we brought to the casting got casted. Yeah,
definitely. They got casted right away. Normally when we do send an acting client to one of the gigs, and most of the films, if it's not like all the films that we send them to have to have an IMDb credit, whether it's a high budget film, a low budget film, or a trade for film. It must have an IMDb credit because we already know having IMDb credit sometimes is better than getting a low budget income from these film sets, because it builds up who you are and your presence online. And most film studios want to see that you're reliable and you can work with people. So that's why I always recommend when someone contacts me for a film, if they don't have if they're not set up to have IMDb credits for the actors, I'm gonna have to decline, because I'm not gonna send you to something that's gonna waste your time.
Right.
It's nice, you know, to get paid. And it's good to get paid, but you also have to keep in mind when you're an actor and you're trying to build up your career, the most important thing is getting those IMDb credits, because if you do want to get signed to like the Screen Actors Guild and different things, you actually need those things.
Yeah, your IMDb is your resume as an actor.
Yeah.
Just like Instagram and Snapchat and some of these things is your resume as a model.
Right.
IMDb is an actor's resume, so it's important to have it updated. It's important that your resume reflects your work, and especially if it's current. You know, they want current stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, so Instagram.
Wait, before we get to Instagram, we got to do one thing, and you know what we have to do. You know what we came here for. Because if we don't do it, the lights stay on.
To the house, y'all.
You know this. Here you go. I got the Mango Orchard Hair and Body Butter.
I got the Shea Tea Tree Hair and Body Butter.
So if you guys been here the last couple of weeks, you already know who this is.
Yes.
This is from our friends at J Money. You know, they are the sponsor of the house this week. If you have hair, check out J Money's Body Butter line. They have a mango butter and a shea butter formula that's like no other. A smooth organic butter that no one ever thought to use, rich essential oils, combined to create a mango butter line made for kings and queens. This light but airy butter is effective on everyone's hair, skin, and nails. Their shea butter is made from nuts with a smooth finish. Run over to Good Money Texture Professionals on Facebook or send a quick email to hudsonjalil@gmail.com. J Money. Hands you trust, products are a must. Also keep in mind, these can be used as bug repellents or candles in emergencies. Make sure you check out J Money. He is here on Instagram, and he's actually in the comments. So if you want to go check him out,
in the comments, y'all.
Get it done, and
you know,
and you get the 10% off after your first purchase, along with these cute little spoons too.
Facts. You know, I'll tell you guys, I used the body butter several times and my skin cleared up. You know, I was having some real bad problems with allergies and acne, and my skin started clearing using this shea and tea tree butter. So if you guys have some problems with the skin, if it's sensitive, you go outside and the bugs are getting at you, definitely hit up J Money for this shea tea tree oil, the tea tree butter. This is dope. I love it. I love it. My skin is clearing up and I'm really happy about it. Those of you on Instagram, go check him out. If you don't, rewind the video. If you don't have Instagram, and get his email, contact him right away, because this stuff is like magic.
It's really good. I think that it's doing some justice to my skin as well, not just because it's the sponsor of the house, but it really, as you can see from week to week, I am actually using the product. So you can see the difference of my skin from the first time we were recording.
Yeah, till now.
So you can definitely check that out and look that up. Make sure that you guys put any comments down below. We're going to be checking them out. Make sure if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Periscope to tell a friend, share, and like this post. So we have a comment from,
let's see, we got a
one
ton
of our
of comments.
friends.
We got a ton of comments on Instagram. So let's see. Let's see. I know there was some that I missed. Okay, we did the casting models. Oh, what's this? Grindithia. Africa is the only place I know that are shooting movies. You know, to be honest,
Well, right now, there's no one's actually shooting movies. They won't be opening back up until October. But this is just preparation for right now, just getting ready to get back into the swing of things. There are places that are doing shoots and everything. But when you are shooting your sides and you're doing your reels, that can be something that's intimate. It doesn't need to be a full production company, but do remember that as an actor, you still have to pay for that up front. That's kind of like your portfolio of like your portfolio which a model gets. Right. Actors need reels. So that's their kind of portfolio thing that they need to bring to the table.
Absolutely. But thank you for that, Grind. We really appreciate that.
Oh, yes. And make sure you guys check it out. I did do a podcast with him. It should be airing soon, hopefully by this Sunday. I'm not pulling your leg, but whenever it's ready. Make sure that you check out E-Think's Vickery, his mixtape show. I'm talking about the industry, BBWs, plus size modeling, all types of juicy gossip stuff. Yes. So make sure you guys check that out. And he's in the comments of Instagram. So make sure you run over there.
Erin Marie. Hi, I have naturally curly hair that easily straightens. Are you considering only naturally straight hair models? Don't want to attempt to submit if I don't fit the requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your hair actually needs to be straight for this particular casting, because when they're for the shoot, because what they're going to be doing is adding on extensions to your hair. The style of hair they're going to be using is Indian, what's the other one? Brazilian. But they want to add it onto your hair because it's an extension. So it'll be put on top of your strands. So your hair has to be straightened
at the time,
right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be curl. It can't be curly at the time. It has to be straight. Right. So if you have some images of your hair straightened, please send them to me in the inbox, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on.
And it would be great to see your images anyway. You don't know. A lot of doors are opening up right now, and you could fit, even if you don't fit in with this particular casting, you may fit in with another one.
Right.
You never know, girl. Yeah. Never let anything stop you. That's what we say here at Cat's Castings. Sinfulicious. Okay. I make skincare products also. Rose oil. Sinfulicious, please send us an inbox. Yeah. Tea tree is good for acne. Thank you. Director Uncut. Casting. Can the presence of fame or a camera really make someone act like a villain on reality camera, even though they are a sweetheart in real life? Acting is acting. You are playing a role. Remember that. Doesn't mean because you're playing a character in a role that that's who you are in real life. Right. There are plenty of actors and actresses out there that are really good, and some that are really bad in real life.
If you're specifically talking about reality TV, when it comes to reality TV, what happens is each cast member gets what's called a producer to themselves. If you've seen the behind the scenes for Jerry Springer, you've seen his producer. She's amazing. Oh my God, she knows how to stir the pot. But usually what happens on these reality shows, each person has a specific producer that works with them and agitates the situation to invoke their evilness while they're on set. They provoke them the entire time. If you're talking specifically about that, then yes, there's a way that you can turn a perfectly good sweetheart into an evil villain like this. But in the case of acting, that takes time, especially most method actors. Usually, if they're a nice person in real life, they can be villains, but they have to, I guess, prepare themselves. And that's why the method acting is the reason why they have to be so into it, because it's not naturally them. They have to force themselves to change their routines in order to live that lifestyle.
And it's a tough thing, you know. Just be cautious if you're somebody getting into reality TV. It's a different type of acting, and it can become
right. It's very difficult, and at times, you know, it can get very, very dangerous. But it is a possibility. Someone who's naturally a sweetheart in real life can become a villain. They just need to learn how to turn it on and off.
Yes. Thank you to Director Uncut for that question. Erin said, sure do. Thank you. I appreciate you. We appreciate you, Erin. Please inbox us about your oils. See True. How will I find out about the upcoming castings? Well, inbox us and join us every Thursday, and we'll be putting it out. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. We will be putting up these castings or anything coming up. This is how you can find out about what's happening next.
Usually I post them in the stories of Instagram if I do have a casting. If it's a really big casting and I still haven't found the person that the company is looking for, I'll post it on Facebook or even on Twitter. But most of the time, the first place that I usually post castings are usually on Instagram.
We got a question from Key Siobhan on Instagram. Key Siobhan. I want to do more castings and shoots. Not sure how to really go about finding the jobs to get me out there and noticed. Great question.
Okay, so right now everybody's starting to pick stuff back up. Most of the models that are working right now are already signed to agencies. So this is another thing that we need to talk about, is making sure that we get scouted for the right agencies or management companies. Right now, they're still working. There are lower budgets, there are lower crews, and sometimes it's a smaller amount of people who are on set. So everything is not as glamorous, but there's still an opportunity to get there. I'm actually releasing a video on YouTube on Monday, which is going to have each of the modeling tips on what to do, on how to get scouted, how to apply to these websites, because a lot of the agencies are still doing open calls. They are doing scheduled open calls, but they're still doing open calls because they are looking for models. You do also have to keep in mind the type of modeling you need to do. If you are under 5'9", you cannot do high fashion modeling. Most agencies will not touch you with a 10-foot pole. You have to check out commercial, you have to check out print, you have to check out swimsuit. There are different varieties of modeling that you can do. But if you can find another way to work with designers to be a high fashion model, but it's going to take a longer route than if you were 5'9". Trust me, I know. I've walked down high fashion runway.
Why don't you tell them a quick story about some of those times? Quick story time.
And I'm only 5'3", but it just takes some time to figure out a way to work with designers who will be trusting enough to allow you as a smaller person to get onto those runways. Most of the time, what I did to get on those runways is I actually did shoots with them. So I was like, hey, listen, I'll trade you for this shoot. Whenever you need a shoot, I'll be a free model for you. I was always early. I always brought my own makeup. I always thanked everybody in the room after everything was done. And I built relationships with a lot of designers. And afterwards, they were like, hey, listen, do you want to do this show? And I would be like, okay, sure. I'll be there. I had a designer call me from Senegal, and he let me know that he was coming to New York to do New York Fashion Week. And I had done a shoot with him a couple of months before. And he was like, hey, Katherin, I have 2 dresses for you. I need you to walk down New York Fashion Week. So I said, sure, why not? Why not? I'm excited. But it's just a matter of taking certain measures and figuring out what modeling works for you. You can't just jump into one section of the modeling knowing that they have a barrier of a height requirement. This does not include if you're a plus size model. If you're a plus size model, you need to be at least a size 12, and you still need to be 5'9".
But and this is just a little bit of motivation and encouragement. Your success is largely dependent upon you. If there's something that you want to do, you're going to get out there and do it. Not everybody is going to have the same results that Kat did with getting on these high fashion runways. But
oh, trust me, I got thrown out of castings. I got thrown out of shows. all type of craziness has happened to me. I've heard and people have said the nastiest things to me. And it took a while to get where I wanted to get to. But it did happen.
Don't let it knock you down.
Right.
And if you need help, get a manager. If you don't know what you're doing, we always talking about it here on Kat's Castings every week. If you haven't seen our previous videos, get on down in our page and check our previous videos out. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can pause it and say, hey, look, this is what I need to do. We give tips every single week on these things.
Yes.
You can get it done. Trust me, there had been weeks during Fashion Week where Kat would be gone from 5 in the morning to midnight. And I'm like, how did it go? She's like, I got on the runway, you know? And she's 5'2", you know? So, you know, I'm not saying that everybody will have the same success, but your determination and your success is dependent upon you. Do you want to get this done? Are you going to be professional enough to say, hey, I'm going to get this done for myself? You know what I mean? Great question. Thank you so much, Keisha Vaughn. Instagram is popping right now. Okay, can we send you our resume and headshots? That's from Salia 91.
Yes, send resumes and headshots to Katherin at katscastings.com. What you could do after this live, there's a little tab that says email. Click on that and send me all your stuff through there.
Yes. Yeah. CIA difference. I'm 5'9.5" and it's still pretty tough to get on runway being a size 6.
Okay. So what happens is usually with size 6s, they're considered to be showroom models. So showroom models are usually what they call real life women, and they prefer to keep them in a certain area for those runways. I would recommend trying to do print work first.
Yes.
And getting good with the designers in print work.
Print is always a good way to get in the door because you're meeting the people behind the runway.
Right.
You're meeting the designers in advance. You're getting an intimate and personal relationship with them. They could see what level of professionalism that you have. And when they're thinking about people to represent them on the runway, well, they're not always going to think of that model that a casting company is going to bring, but you, who they have seen, who they have a relationship with to represent them on a runway. You know what I mean? I think those things are super important, and we emphasize every week professionalism, and that's a key to getting scouted.
Yeah,
it's a key. You out there working with these different designers doing print, they get to know you. Even photographers. Sometimes designers ask photographers, hey, you know any models? And they'll go, I sure do. Matter of fact, I've worked with this in particular model several times, and she's really great, or he's really great. He has a great level of professionalism. Why don't you call him up?
Right. This is all true. This is all true.
This is our industry. This is the industry we work in, y'all. Thank you so much, CIA Difference. You know what? If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to inbox us. Director Uncut. It seems to me predominantly Black productions, storyline-wise, are at painfully, sometimes slow pace. It took have and have not 6 years to get good. Why aren't Black stories told at a faster pace? Director Uncut. I find this to be a common theme with Tyler Perry Productions.
Yeah, well, because Tyler Perry actually writes all of his scripts. He writes each and every one of them. He is the only self-Black owned studio currently at the moment.
Besides Spike Lee, and he doesn't own. He doesn't own
his studio. Tyler Perry owns a whole studio production, and he literally writes everything that comes out of his studio. So it does take time for him to find the formula for particular shows and film work. But other than that, I don't really have an answer for that.
You know, he does his own publication and promotion. He promotes his own stuff. You know, yes, it is at a quite slower pace, but think about it. How many films have you gone out to see during a premiere and it was terrible? They spent millions of dollars for 6 months, 6 to 8 months. You saw commercials and all kinds of things pop up about this great movie coming out, right?
Yep.
And it was trash. Trash, right? But they had millions and billions of dollars behind them. What do you say? You know, essentially, at the end of the day, my personal opinion is I like that it takes time, and at a little bit of a slower pace, it gets people talking about it, because he's got to sit down with individuals. He's going to independent small business owners and entrepreneurs. He's giving small businesses like ours an opportunity to be a part of his production.
Yeah.
So I think that the slower pace is beneficial for the community. You know, I wouldn't take it as a bad thing.
I don't necessarily take it as a bad thing also, because one of the most iconic shows, The Office, actually their first season was kind of terrible. It was like really terrible, and it was cringy. And for a long time, I actually didn't watch that show because I was like, ew, this is horrible. And then somebody was like, just make it to season 2. Just make it. Trust me. And you know what? I made it to season 2, and I loved it. I love it. I swear by it. Sometimes when I'm working and I need some noise in the background, that is actually what I put in the background. So I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing that it took some time to build up, especially when it comes to a series. But when it comes to film work, that's a little different, because you have an allotted time frame. I think it needs to build up a little bit quicker when it comes to filmography. Yeah. It might need to, but you know what? As time goes on, there will be a progression. Right. I wouldn't be upset at that. I would try to get in where I fit in. Right. Thank you, Director Uncut. Let's see. Salir, what kind of experience do you need as an actor or model before trying to get a manager? That's Salir91 on Instagram. Great question. It is an amazing question. Actually, to get a manager, you don't need any experience with acting or modeling. Most of the time, they will get you in contact with developers, or the company will do the developing in-house. For example, when it comes to acting, unfortunately, we don't do in-house development. We would send you out to certain classes where directors on their off season actually teach the actors what they need to know to get into films that are coming up in the next season. And that's actually how you would get your foot in the door to getting into big feature films. Yes. But a lot of the time, what I would do is I would start you off with some small background stuff, or I would get you roles that still get an IMDb credit but won't have any pay. They'll have meals provided, but unfortunately there'll be no pay or no residual, just so you can build up your acting skills, because you need that. It's kind of like a call and command, and you need to learn how to refresh that. With modeling, it's pretty much the same thing. You still need some kind of training. Because I have done modeling before, it's a little easier for us to do things in-house, because if I don't do the training, I can actually work with different runway models, or I can actually hire a trainer itself and train all the girls to, do walks and different things during the time that we need before shows and shoots actually start. When it comes to photo shoots, practice makes perfect. I usually send models to test shoots. I tell them to make sure that they practice their angles, because each model has different angles that work for them in photographs. So they need to practice and look out for which angles are better for you. It's not just the photographer, it's both of you working together. Right. So you guys have to work together on that, because photographers can do magic, but if you ain't doing the magic too, there's nothing. Yeah, it's an explosion of unmagic. There's nothing that you can do. Most agencies actually prefer people who don't have any experience. So when you do apply to them, they just want you fresh face and new, because you haven't been tainted by the craziness that happens in the industry. So I say go for it. Apply to the agencies, send your stuff out. just make sure that you're paying attention to their rules and how they want you to apply to the agencies or management companies. Just keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, I absolutely would do that. You know, in the past, when we had to, you know, in the beginning when we were starting out, and I was getting clients from all types of directions. I was getting actresses, models, runway print, everything. And at one point, I had an actor, and I was like, okay, I went crazy contacting Universal for a new movie role, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
And I actually found out what they were looking for. So I didn't get the gig for the actual casting, but I found out what they were looking for. And it was so great because they took the time out to talk to me. And I said, hey, listen, this is what you're going to need. This is what they are looking for these roles. And if you're completing these particular things, you're going to meet the standard. You don't got to be perfect. You got to catch their eye at the moment. You know, be yourself, be whoever you are, be yourself, and hit that role over the head. If you do have a manager and they're giving you information that's coming from these companies like Universal or UMC, you want to be listening to them and saying, hey, am I putting this in? Am I putting this work in? Am I practicing on these particular things? Because that shows your professionalism. Are you developing your resume, or are you sitting around waiting for the next role to hit you over the head? Because it's not. Even as a manager, if I'm going to help you, it's not going to just land there because a few people know my name. It doesn't. I got to go out looking. And 99% of the time, I'm not the biggest manager in the world, but these companies give a little bit of respect to me because I'm like, hey, so how can I get in the future? Can I send someone to you even though we can't get this casting? Yes, you can.
Yep, it's all true.
These are ways you're going to get scouted by people because they're going to pay attention to who you're dealing with on a professional level. What photographers, what designers, what managers, what companies you're working for. Are you practicing? Are you going out there and practicing a little bit of philanthropy with your own career, right? Building your resume, because they look at all these things. This is all word of mouth. It's all word of mouth. So I say, Salir91, great question. You don't have to know everything to get a manager. Let your manager give you a consultation and tell you what you need.
Usually when I'm signing somebody, if I am going to stick with them, I usually have like a 3-month period where we figure out if we can actually work together. Usually after 3 months, if it's not working, then
cutting the cord.
It's deuces. But usually when I do sign people, it's usually probably like a 2-year contract.
Great question, Salir91. Okay, the K. Cox Way, model, photographer, runway coach here.
Oh, yeah. See,
yes. Welcome, Kay Soleil.
Make sure you guys hit her up. And Kay Soleil,
K. Cox Way. The K. Cox Way. My bad. I got Salir91, and the K. Cox Way. The K. Cox Way, model, photographer, runway coach.
Sorry about that.
My bad.
It's okay.
My bad.
Make sure you send love to her over there. Send me a quick inbox. Maybe we can chit chat a little bit later as things are getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, we're getting back into the swing, and I see the future of modeling. Yes, it's going to change, even acting. But I see it going in a really great direction. And if we stay ahead of the curve, if we keep upgrading our resumes, our social media accounts, if we're practicing, even if you're practicing, you're an actor that's practicing, get that script. Do a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know. Keep your resume active. And all these different types of social medias are different kinds of ways for you to get scouted.
Sometimes what happens is if you don't get scouted right away, the action of you doing work to build yourself up and learning your craft, agencies will contact you. So they still do contact actually through social media, like via Instagram or through Facebook. But you have to be very, very careful. Usually through their websites, they will say, hey, listen, these are the people from Instagram and Facebook that will contact you. If it's not these people, then it's not from our group. Right. So you do have to keep an eye out and make sure
scammers.
make sure that you can figure it out. Tina Marie says, okay, overlay. You're so cute, Tina. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, make sure you place it down below. I've managed models, actors, book writers, directors.
Keep going. You're there.
I've managed like a few people all over the industry itself. It doesn't necessarily have to be modeling. But I like to focus on
comedy.
I've never
even comedy.
No.
You never managed comedy, but
never.
You know what? You know what's an interesting thing? Even if we haven't done something, a good management company is going to get contacted by somebody someday. I'm sorry, I just wanted to go off. Remember, when you with a good company,
right?
If they don't know something, they'll tell you honestly. But just like we tell you guys every week, we have friends that have friends that have friends, and that's how this industry works.
The reason
sometimes
why
they're in our inboxes
is because
give them a little bit of tea. Let's talk the tea.
Someone had asked me, someone that I know personally, had asked me about a little bit of advice on being a stand-up comedian. And I said, hey, listen, let's sit down. Let's, do a small little consultation. And they asked me if I've ever worked with comedians before. And I was like, no, but, I've worked with models, I've worked with actors, I've worked with book writers. I'm pretty sure I can get my foot in there and figure out some stuff. And, he decided to decline. And then he decided to post our conversation on Facebook and broadcast it. And people were like, oh,
right.
I could give you advice for free. I could do this. I could do that. All of this and that, whatever. Okay. That evening, greatest thing ever. That very evening, I got contacted by a film director, and they were like, hey, listen, do you have any comedians on your roster?
You said what? Say what? Say what? Do you have any what?
Comedians on your roster.
Oh, okay.
And I said, no, but I can look for one for you, and then I'll get back to you, and then we can talk some more on what else you need for the film. But, sometimes if someone doesn't have full experience on something, don't always,
shut the door.
Right.
And that brings us back to the main point on how to get scouted. Professionalism. Every single week we talk to you guys about professionalism. This person was extremely nasty. Maybe we didn't have the experience in comedy that you would like.
Right.
But professionalism would have been nice because look at that. Somebody that had seen our stuff said, do you have a comedian on your roster? Crickets, huh? I wish I had sound effects to play for you.
Right.
Because you know what? You never know who you are going to meet. You never know who you're talking to. And professionalism is key. Because let's say you guys would have ended that conversation. Hey, okay, I'll go with somebody else. This guy, this director would have contacted you in the evening. You could have said, hey, yeah, maybe I do.
Right.
And contacted this person and said, hey, listen, I don't have a lot of experience in this. Let me help you out.
Right.
I got somebody who's looking for a comedian. Why don't you go try out for this? Go over to the casting. Tell them the cat sent you.
Right.
Look at how easy
it could have been easy and simple like that. He would have got his first gig.
Right.
He would have got signed. We all could have been making money, and he would have got his first IMDb credit. Then we could have worked on his stand-up. Because I know a few spots that are actually open right now that are doing showcases every Thursday and Friday night. But, it happens. The industry talks to each other and they know people. But don't ever be afraid to make that jump to work with a company. But do a Google search. do check out things, because if this person would actually did a small little Google search,
yes,
they would have found my management company, and then the conversation would have been different. But you know what? It's not here to drag the person. I don't, honestly, I feel that it was a blessing and less of a headache for what was going on. So I let it be for what it is. All right, beautiful people. Do we have any more questions?
No. Arion Marie said, "Hey, girl, go off." Yes. Yes, I am going off for the simple fact is, you know, we talked about this in the scammer video, right?
Right.
Go back and check that out on our YouTube. Subscribe to Kat's Castings YouTube and go back and check out that video. We talk about just doing a quick search, doing your due diligence to make sure you're not getting scammed, right? I wanted to just show you guys that, yes, we might not have had the experience with a comedian, right? But just as easily as we sit here and talk to you guys and give you guys a piece of our mind and heart and say, hey, we're going to help you out.
Right.
There are people watching these videos. We don't have thousands of viewers or even hundreds of viewers, right? But if you take a quick Google search, you will find Kat's Castings. If you do a quick Google search, you'll find images and shoots and productions that we've been to, right? And if you talk to anybody about us, they will talk to you guys about a level of professionalism. But if you behave unprofessionally, right, it takes 2 seconds to be professional.
It sure does.
2 seconds. Because what did we guys tell you in the first video that we started? That's what they do in the industry. Hey, do you know about this such and such person? Hey, listen, I'm not going to work with them. Why is that? The second that you don't want to work with a person, people want to know why, and they're not going to work with you just because, even if they don't know why.
Right. So you have to be very careful.
Be careful.
The way you present yourself and how you're being professional in a certain situation. It can be negative and could really hurt your career before it even started. So you just have to be cautious of how you work out with things.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. We have a question from Salir91. So how do we get scouted? How do we get scouted by your company? That is a good question.
It's actually pretty simple. Just send us a quick email with three photos and your measurements. And then somebody will contact you and get back to you. They don't have to be professional photos. We prefer a headshot, half body and full body shoots. It can be done with a camera phone, but we do recommend a clear background. Yes. Like no razzle dazzle, no plants, no TVs. Right. We need a clear background because we need to know your angles and your fit, and then work from there. But other than that, yeah,
that's how you get scouted. You know, and
it's pretty simple. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Or invite us somewhere. That's a good one too.
That is good.
If you're gonna do a fashion show or even an interview with somebody, even if you're going to an event where you're not even going to be in the show, invite us.
Yeah.
Invite us. Give us an opportunity to meet with you, see what kind of person you are, to see if we want to represent you.
Right.
You know,
but when everything opens back
up. But if there's an event occurring, you know, shoot us an email, shoot us an inbox. Hey, what's up, Kat? Hey, what's up, Jasmine? Listen, I'm going to be at this event, or I'm going to be doing a shoot today. It's only going to be 2 or 3 people. We can't have that many people. Can one of you guys come by?
We don't. I guess we don't have like strict requirements on what models can apply, if that makes sense. We take plus, petite, we take high fashion, we take prints, editorial, glamour, vixen. We do it all.
Yes. But when we ask for photos, if we ask for photos, right, please send us photos with clothes on.
Yes.
Not off. We've had an instance where we've asked for photos and we've received birthday suit photos. Unless we ask for that,
Right.
which generally we don't ask for, we don't do that type of thing.
Professional companies will not ask you for lingerie, nude shoots, partially nude. They will not ask you for that as a requirement when you're submitting to a casting or even a agency. So if someone is saying that to you, run for the hills.
Right.
Okay.
So Salir91, hit us up in our inbox. Great question. Survival of the Creatives on Instagram. I'd love to invite you to my next shoot. Magazine will be present as well.
Okay.
Survival of the Creative. Please send us an inbox or an email. We'd love to come down, both or one of us. So send us the information, and that would be so great. We do love to support the community, especially as things open up little by little.
Yeah.
I definitely do think it's important, even at small events, that
just let us know where you're located, because we're here in New York City.
Right.
So if you guys are somewhere else, like Atlanta or something, you got to give us a little time, only because traveling is going to be a little more difficult nowadays.
Yes.
But definitely, I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get it done. It's so great that we can support each other in the community. So don't be afraid to contact us with any questions. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you missed the beginning of this video, subscribe to YouTube. It'll be up here on Instagram or on Periscope. You can go to our Periscope. Facebook, the video will be on Facebook. Subscribe to our social medias where we post different tips. We post upcoming castings. We post even new things happening in the industry. And we talk about these things on a subtle level. Remember some of the videos we've done?
Yeah.
We have to, we don't want to offend people, right? So we have to make sure that our social medias are professional.
Yes.
So remember that, y'all.
No more pee pictures. Take them down.
Right.
Take them down.
Turn it off.
Salir91,
thanks, will do. Do you want images with both natural hair and weave? Why don't you hit us up? And I think
we'll talk more about
later.
it. You do still have time to submit to that casting, so there's no big rush for it. But let's get a little small chit chat going on so we can clear that air out, because we're about to get off this live.
Right.
Because I know we've been here long enough and y'all ready to go.
Yes. Don't forget to hit up J Money with his wonderful body butter. He keeps the lights on, and I think it's done wonders for my skin, and I think it'll do wonders for you guys. Don't hesitate to hit him up. Remember, rewind the video. The links will be in the description. And, Mr. Williams. Hey, Mr. Williams.
Our shoots are starting back in August, so please get ready. We're going to be doing a few shoots coming up, so please stay close. You know that I'm going to hit you up anyway, but, we'll be there.
Yes. Yes.
All right, people, but we got to get out of here. Remember, J Money, hit him up in the comments. Make sure you guys like and share this video. If you have any questions when we're not live, make sure you place them down below or send us emails. We can contact you and talk a little bit more. And we're going to get ready to go to that Survival of the Creatives shoots.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do.
Hit us up, Survival of the Creatives. We'd love to show some support. And we really appreciate you guys for joining us every week. Put these tips into action. Put them into action.
Yep. And make sure that you drink water before your photo shoots. That's it.
Even though Poland Spring is not sponsoring this video.
No.
But if you do want to sponsor this video, we're waiting for y'all.
Yes, definitely. We definitely are. But I thank you again, everyone, for listening and watching. For our friends, make sure that you follow us everywhere. We are everywhere.
Yes. Thank you, J Money.
YouTube,
he said
Instagram,
it's a great show. Thank you.
Perspective. Of course, we love you, J Money. We love your shea butter and your mango butters. So make sure you guys check that out. But we have to get out of here. Oh, I know it's so sad, but we gotta go. Yeah. So I love you guys. See you soon. And have a great weekend.
See you next week. All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.